What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Sunday episode of The Voice of Reason. We got a jam-packed show lined up for you today. We're going to talk about the government shutdown and why it's been the plan the whole friggin' time.
It's almost like we said it, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything we've been saying is going to happen has happened. I wish people would take us more seriously. But the Heritage Foundation, this is a very developed, years-long plan that they are implementing and shutting the government down so people like Russ Vought can just rip apart the federal government from the inside. That's why they're doing it. Plus, they're also trying to block the release of the Epstein files because we all know they're trying to not swear in a duly elected official so they would have enough votes to release the Epstein files.
Like, think about that. It's almost like we've seen this before when they refused to have any ability for Barack Obama to elect a Supreme Court justice. But
right.
Now Mike Johnson is literally holding up the swearing in of a Democrat so that they don't vote to release the Epstein files.
That's crazy, right?
If you are not defending a pedophile, Mike Johnson, then I don't know what you're doing because it's pretty obviously what you're doing at this
That's
point.
why we call the GOP the government of pedos, because that seems to be their top priority. Yeah, well, honestly, though, we don't need them to release the files because Virginia Giuffre's memoir comes out on the 21st. Of course, MAGA won't believe any of it, but it's going to open a lot of people's eyes to what really happened.
How about this? Those of us who actually believe victims, when they speak, it will be impactful.
Right. And I hate the fact that women, especially when it comes to rape and sexual assault in this country, are not taken, well, probably
the whole
around
planet.
The world, in a lot of places, are just not taken seriously. Like we had all the witnesses or all the people that were affected by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein stand outside of Congress and give their testimony to the public. And they were accused of being paid actors.
Even though they're literally the people in the cases against Trump. Like they're literally the ones that have made complaints for years and decades. Suddenly they're paid actors. Okay.
I agree. So we're also going to talk about the farmers because farmers continue to vote for Trump.
Find it out.
They are in the find out stages. Soybean farmers are about to lose everything. Everything. And it has a lot to do with not Argentina. What country? Is it Argentina? Yeah, Argentina. Venezuela.
Well, are you talking about the country that Donald Trump
bailed out again?
Boats? Oh, that might have been Argentina.
I think that is Argentina. Yeah, Venezuela is the murders that they're committing and then posting on the internet.
Because a little boat with an outboard motor is going to make it 14,d miles and somehow land on the shore.
I broke this down 2 days ago, bro. It's funny you say that. From the topmost part of Argentina, it's 1,500 miles.
1,500 miles. Yeah, come on.
And one of those boats, at the most, would only be able to go 500.
Well, wait, they might be able to go more if they were carrying fuel, but apparently they're carrying thousands of pounds of drugs.
That's what I'm saying.
Which carries like 4 people.
Right. If you're carrying drugs, you don't have space for additional
drugs or fuel.
Right. Fuel's not worth money. Drugs are worth money. Like they're just murdering people. We talked yesterday. I was furious yesterday, bro. I snapped out at the beginning of the show. I calmed down by the end.
Thanks, Julie. Argentina is what we're talking about with the bailout.
Yeah, there we go. So yesterday was a rough day for me mentally because one, a woman was murdered by ICE in Chicago.
Yep.
And then they literally went into a apartment complex because they knew marginalized communities lived in this apartment complex. They racially profiled in an entire complex, went door to door, kicked people's door downs without warrants,
zip-tied children,
dragged kids out of their beds in their underwear, and then I saw a picture of a fucking 1-year-old getting zip-tied behind his fucking back.
You know those 1-year-olds with their arm-swinging windmills, they're a threat to cops everywhere.
Maybe they're going the Israel approach. Maybe they think they're going to be future Antifas, because that's how they justify murdering children in Israel. They're like, well, they might be terrorists someday. Like, honestly, I was in such a rage yesterday, and then today with what happened to me this morning and having to call the cops for death threats I've been getting. I'll talk about that in a little bit here. We're also going to talk about Howard Nutlick. I'm sorry. That's what
I thought that was real when you sent out the show prep. I thought that was real.
I meant, honestly, this time I meant to say Letnick, but I was looking at my notes, and I have him as Nutlick in my notes. It's honestly more appropriate because that's what he does. He just literally cups Donald Trump's balls and licks them. Mike Johnson, again, caught on a hot mic. These people are just completely oblivious to the fact that they have a microphone on, or like Pete Hegseth and Kash Patel are now, there's apparently new text messages that are leaked where they were talking about sending the 82nd Airborne Regiment, which fought in Mogadishu, Afghanistan, Iraq, like most of the major wars that we've been in, 82nd Airborne Division has been involved. They are war fighters, a very specialized unit.
The danger, not cops. The danger of sending a unit as visible with such a storied history as that and deploying them in a United States city is without a doubt the most unconstitutional and terroristic thing Donald Trump has ever done. Okay, and we're talking about January 6th. We're talking about these fake-ass assassination attempts.
Right.
Okay, to deploy a United States military unit in the streets of America proves that there is no such thing as the rule of law. The Constitution is not binding Donald Trump to anything, and the Supreme Court is just going to allow it, and so are all our elected representatives. We now no longer live in a constitutional republic.
No, I don't think people understand the whole point of all of this is to challenge it in court, because eventually it's all going to go up to the Supreme Court, and we know how they've been ruling lately.
And what did Clarence Thomas just say? All precedent does not mean that we will vote that way. He basically said that existing cases do not necessarily stand just because they've been settled already.
Right, which goes actually against what they're actually supposed to do, which is uphold the laws that are in place, not manipulate them to benefit
from the bench.
They're not lawmakers. They're not lawmakers. They are law enforcers. Okay, you know what I mean? So it's gotten out of control. So just
we're in
before
trouble,
we get started,
people.
Before we get started, let me tell you my story.
I'll
tell you a
get
little
ready,
story
folks.
about what happened. I've been getting
popcorn
since I've gotten a little popular on Facebook. I've been getting a lot of death threats lately, and I've been having fun with them. You know what I mean? Because they're stupid, and most of them are not from where I'm from, so I don't take them very serious. However, somebody decided that it would be a smart idea to take a picture of my house and send it to me, or they got it from Google.
Either way,
whatever, doesn't matter. It means they know my address.
Bingo.
Right, and they decided to send me a post with a very threatening message. So I got them blocked. Thank you for Facebook. I hate the fact, I don't want to give Facebook too much praise, but now that I'm at like 90,000 followers, they have been really quick to take accounts down. I mean, they took the account down within 30 seconds of me reporting it.
Well, yeah, they want your ad revenue.
Yeah, my last message was the guy was, I hope you don't need your Facebook account because it's about to be gone. And then 30 seconds later, see ya. So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with. I called the cops. Cop came over. Did not look like he was having a good day to begin with. I went out, pretty pleasant. Tried to start explaining things to him. And of course, I was visibly upset. I mean, I was shaking. When my adrenaline goes up, I get, when I'm in a rage, you'll see me shake. You will see me turn bright red and shake, which usually means I'm damn near close to snapping the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So once the cop, who was already a dick when he got here, found out what I did and the fact that I don't support Donald Trump, he had absolutely zero fucking interest in helping me and started giving me attitude and telling me to calm down. So I asked him, on what plane of existence should I be calm about this? I'm getting death threats and people are sending me pictures of my house, and you want me to be fucking calm? All right, you know what? Fine. I'll sit down. I'll sit down. He asked me to sit down. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'll sit down. And then he's continued to give, and I finally said, like, I don't feel like you even give a shit about me because of my political views. For obvious reasons. And then he had the nerve to say, so you're profiling me? You're stereotyping me because of the uniform I'm in? And at this point, I knew the guy was a Trumper. So I said, yeah, you don't have exactly the best reputation right now, do you? You're going around helping ICE arrest innocent people. So no, I don't trust you. You know what I mean? And it just got worse from there. And then This fucking asshole threatened to arrest me. So this is when I get pissed. And I raised my voice, which my family was still not fully awake yet. So when I raised my voice, I asked him, I'm like, for what? What the fuck are you going to arrest me for? Because I'm being mean to you? Because I'm giving you a little attitude? As far as I know, the First Amendment still fucking exists, bud. And being mean to you is not a fucking crime. So why will you stop treating me like I'm the one that committed the fucking crime and do your goddamn taxpayer-funded job?
Now,
I'm ad-libbing a little bit at the end there, but I'm going to stop.
Now, look, the cop could have done his job very differently.
All he had to do.
I'm gonna play the what could have happened cop, which is fascinating. That even in a role playing scenario, I would choose a law enforcement officer. But whatever. So hi, Mr. Baker. I hear you have to report something. I hope I can help. Oh, well, I just got a death threat. All right. Let me take down the information. There's not much we could do right now, but at least it's on file. Try and be careful with what you do. Don't give out your personal information. And if you have any problems again, report it and we will continue to keep an eye on it.
Right.
Thank you. Reason that's it.
The part where the part that pissed me off and when I really started getting heated, because he knew it was Facebook, he knew it was online. So I'm like, all right, well, how do I give you the information? He pulls out a pen and paper. I lost my shit.
You can.
How the fuck am I supposed to text you or email you to your paper notepad?
Yeah.
Like I felt
like it was belittling. He was giving you shit. And we can't say why he was, but all we know is that he was giving you shit and treating you not like the victim, but like a potential suspect for some mysterious crime that didn't exist.
Right. I did get a hold of his supervisor, and I called 911 back. It's like, y'all need to send me another officer and one that outranks this asshole that you all just sent me. So, but eventually the supervisor did call him back, and I did let him know that I was threatened to be arrested for talking. Which I thought was crazy because obviously I'm the one that reported the crime. So I am the victim. I'm not playing victim because a crime was committed against me. So I called the cops. That's what you're supposed to do, right? That's what you're supposed to do. But in this day and age, depending on who the cop voted for, you may not get any help. That guy would have took my information down on that little notepad, and I never would have heard from him again.
He took it on that notepad so he could crumple it up and toss it.
So
probably out the window.
Remember the supervisor's name, but he was very professional. That's why I'm a lot calmer. If he hadn't called me back before the show, I'd probably be screaming right now. But he was very polite. He was very professional, and I thanked him for giving a shit. And I told him, I'm like, sorry, I understand that we live in a volatile environment, but cops should be nonpartisan, period. My political affiliation and what I do for a living should have no bearing on how I am treated by you and how serious you're going to take this. That is bullshit. This is what This is what causes violence because you're going to force people to take the matters into their own hands if you don't do your job. We're being systematically attacked in this country by cops, by ICE, by the military. So yes, forgive me if I'm a little skeptical to a guy in a cop outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, forgive me.
That's what it is now, is because we're seeing that it truly is that there are people that wear the outfit but never took the oath seriously. Yeah. We're seeing this from all the way up from the president who refused to swear on anything. You don't have to swear on a Bible, but take something and swear on it. Okay. We're seeing it in Congress. We're seeing it in the military right now because there are actual military, dragging protesters around who have committed no crime. Right. And we're seeing cops showing up to people's houses and taking a matter seriously or not based on both of their political affiliation. I guarantee you, if he had showed up and there was MAGA stuff all over your property and you were said, some liberal threatened me, he would have got that guy arrested. He would have went to their house. He would have found them on a satellite phone, whatever they could have done.
Yeah. Oh, man, it made me realize, though.
Holy crap. Thank you so much.
Oh, Doctor Who fan. Thank you so much.
So your cops are shit there. Yeah. Well.
Well, I live in a very white, very Trump heavy area. So I just want this made me had an epiphany is that we're on our own. We're on our own. The cops aren't going to help us. The government sure as fuck isn't going to help us. They're targeting us.
Yep.
Our own democratic elected leaders, they're not going to help us. They haven't done shit. Spineless, gutless, paid off cowards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when Addison is president, things will be much, much better. So that's what happened to me this morning. So it's been exciting, eventful. Again, this is why I say, guys, protect yourself, okay? Don't be stupid. Have some means of defending yourself in your house. Again, we don't promote violence on this show. Mike is personally not a fan of guns. I just view them differently,
But I am it's funny you say that because I do want to get to the show, but I want to add something that I've been thinking about for a while now. One of the dispensaries near me, right next door to it, has a facility that actually is for gun training.
Right.
Safety, gun handling. And I've talked to my wife about it just a little bit, but I've spent more time thinking about it than I've actually vocalized. And I'm like, look, I don't see myself owning a gun, but I am definitely in a mental space right now where I feel I might need to know how to handle a gun at some point. Right. And I'd rather go get training in a facility where they will teach me the right way to handle a gun, to shoot, anything I need to know if I'm encountered with a scenario where I have a gun in my hand. Right. And I don't want to be doing something that I am not prepared to do. So,
right. So
I suggest look into that for people. If you don't want a gun, maybe you want to at least know how to handle one. That's right. It.
See, and I have a gun that I don't ever want to use other than for target practice. I don't want to use my gun. But we live in an environment where people do desperately want to use their guns. My 81-year-old mother lives with me. I have my son here. I have 3 animals. I take protection of my family extremely. I would die without even thinking about it for my family. So it pisses me off when it just made me. I think it's what made me more mad is I realized we really are on our own, and we really have to look out for one another at this point. But I am hoping the more they attack us, the more people realize what's going on, the more people wake up, and the more unified we become. Because we're not going to stop.
One thing that I've been saying lately is the more MAGA wakes up, and as much as I hate to admit it, a lot of them are finally waking up. I've been spending a lot of time watching videos, and a lot more of them are waking up and they're not taking it well.
No.
They aside from the fact that they think the left doesn't know how and doesn't have any weapons, doesn't know how to use them or have any. The right has a lot of them, and like Jeremy said, they can't wait to use them. So as they're starting to wake up and they feel like their politicians fuck them.
Yeah. So I would recommend
not us that are going to be in trouble.
Right. Like you don't have to go out. Like Mike just said, you don't even have to go out and purchase a gun. You can go to a range and just try them out. And they're not just going to hand it to you and let you go to the range. Ask them, how do I use this thing? I've never used one before. They will teach you properly how to handle one. I just in this environment, I just feel like it's necessary to be smart. That's all. Pepper spray, taser. I don't give a shit. Anything, just something in your house.
That's true. That is stuff that I should procure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not with guns or you want there are plenty
of
some
projectile.
Options. Right. Something that hurts. All right, go. Let's get to the show. So we got a lot to talk about. First, we're going to talk about Heritage Foundation. This has been their plan from day freaking one. I have a video I found, and this is from 7 months ago. So shortly after Donald Trump took office, and this is Kevin Roberts basically explaining that they want control. I forget the term he uses, but this is the plan. Heritage Foundation wanted the government shut down.
So it's
bigger than just the Epstein case. It's bigger than all that.
Oh yeah, like the Epstein cover-up is they're going to use whatever they can for, but make no mistake, and we said this for months, if not a year or more, Project 2025 was always the plan. Donald Trump just recently said in a tweet that he was going to hang out with the guy and help figure out what agencies to cut. So the facade of Donald Trump not knowing what Project 2025 is and not being a part of it is gone. He lied to his people again. Hopefully they'll figure out. But right now we are watching Project 2025 take hold of America, because part of it, if you remember from our reporting and other people's reporting, was to build an army of people to take over government jobs when they fired all of the people currently in those jobs, because what they demand is loyalty down to the filing clerk. Okay, they want to make sure everyone who works in every branch, in every seat of government, in every single job is a loyalist to Donald Trump and Project 2025. And how do you do that? You shut down the government and you fire everyone.
Exactly. And it's funny, it's a good example of that. They want absolute loyalty. A Trump-appointed judge just temporarily blocked Donald Trump's invasion of Portland. I believe it was Portland. Stephen Miller is calling her an insurrectionist. So you cross these people one time and try and actually like follow the law, and they turn on you instantly. They have no loyalty to you. We've said this since the beginning of the show. Donald Trump is loyal to no one. He demands absolute loyalty, but is loyal to not a damn person except for maybe Netanyahu. He seems to do whatever he says. But let's play a couple videos. First, I don't know. I actually titled the video, "Who the fuck is this weasel?" Somebody for the Heritage Foundation. I don't know who it is. But here he is just blaming the Democrats for all of this. No. So, yeah, here we are.
Schumer and the rest of Democrat elected leadership are absolutely the blame for what's going on right now. This is a proof positive about how nutcase the left wing is. So the Republicans passed a clean CR, would have funded the government. And what did Democrat elected leadership want to do? They wanted to shut down the government. It's insane. But what's happening is they are so beholden to a radical base that is unwilling to just do good governance, that wants to have all of these left-wing funding mechanisms that they were unwilling to allow the government to continue. Republican leadership offered them 7 weeks of clean funding to negotiate while the government stayed open. And instead they said, no, we need money for transgender surgeries. We need money for abortions. We need money to pay $1.5 trillion of healthcare benefits to illegal aliens. That's why we're...
Which Ronald Reagan signed that law, by the way.
How bullshit is that? Like, we're not trying to get you... Undocumented people cannot get government-funded insurance. It's illegal. They can't. You have to be a legal U.S. resident. What they are talking about is emergency room care. So if somebody comes in and they're dying, basically they don't want any money for that. So they're going to turn people away.
They want to demand that doctors betray their oath and watch people suffer and die because they were not born in the United States of America.
I watched a video of ICE going into like an operating room. I can't remember what it was, but they were literally going into hospitals after somebody. There's a report came out that they chained a guy to a bed for 37 days and didn't, because when they arrested him, they broke his leg. Okay, so he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just brown while walking. That was his crime. You know what I mean? He had a little bit darker skin. So they took him down, broke his leg, and in the hospital, he's been chained to the bed like an animal for 37 days. That is mind-blowing to me.
They're not human. They're Nazis. You don't get to say there are groups of people that we think our doctors shouldn't treat because they don't meet the criteria of valid.
Right.
That's Nazi shit.
Yeah. So on
they're
Project,
the Nazis.
You were talking about Project 2025's plan. I'd like to point out that they're actually behind schedule. They were actually behind schedule because their transition plan was a 6-month plan, and we are now
it's because Trump keeps losing in court.
Well, that doesn't help. So they are getting some roadblocks, but again, their whole point of this is to challenge literally everything in court, everything, because they want it all to go to the Supreme Court, and if the Supreme Court rules against them, then they'll threaten them. You know, the typical MO of a mob ring, basically. That's what they act like. They act like they're mob bosses. This is not a president. This is a fascist dictator and a Nazi with a Nazi regime backing him up.
Yep.
So let me go to the video I found earlier. It took a little bit of digging, but here is, this is not Nutlick. Who is this? Kevin Roberts from the Heritage Foundation, who is basically telling us, this is back in March, that the plan was to destroy the government.
historian. I was educated as an early American historian, and I'm hard-pressed to think of another American president who has started with this pace. It really is, from a conservative policy point of view, to your question, Joe, shock and awe. To be clear, President Trump and Vice President Vance deserve 100% of the credit.
I want to pause it right there. You see how I knew you would catch that. I knew you would catch that. I knew you would catch that. They want all of the blame to go on Vance and Donald Trump for all of this. They don't want any credit.
Because don't forget, Heritage Foundation, amongst being a Christian nationalist, bigot, racist, scumbag organization that wants to take over the United States, they are a business. And Jeremy was in front of their entire fucking building. Okay, they have a whole building where they develop this evil policy destroying nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, so they want to make sure that when this goes poorly and it doesn't get implemented as smoothly as they would like, they're going to go, whoa, this wasn't us. This was Trump and Vance. Uh-oh.
Exactly. They don't want.
Why do you think Project 2025 was written with Donald Trump so embedded in the language?
Right.
Because they knew Trump was their best bet to get their final game plan in motion. And if they fuck it up, they still want to be able to exist in some capacity and make themselves rich.
Dude,
that's what this is.
Donald Trump is so fucking compromised. It is not even funny. But all right,
we're going to see those videos one day. We're going to see the P videos.
Oh, yeah, because Israel has the files. Dude, I 100% guarantee it. I mean, we showed you emails between the former Prime Minister of Israel and Jeffrey Epstein talking about surveillance. So, I think at this point it's pretty easy to make a good, give a good opinion on the fact they were working together. Or Epstein was working for Israel, who knows. But let's go back to the video here.
It is those two men and the great men and women they've assembled, I think, what will be the greatest cabinet in modern American history.
Cabinet
all
of
that
fucking
credit.
toads.
I think the conservative movement, to your question, understood that we needed to be much better prepared in serving this president than we were the last time. And to the extent that any of us, whether it's us at Heritage or a million other conservatives had some tiny role in suggesting a menu of options, that's fine. We've done that at Heritage for 45 years. We'll do it for the next 145. Trump and Vance deserve credit for this moment.
Has anything, though, that we've seen take place in the last 2 weeks and change not aligned with that point of view, with the American leadership picture that was outlined in those 900-something pages?
The real thrust of the work that we do at Heritage, as you know, is to articulate an aspirational vision for revitalizing self-governance, restoring freedom to the American people, as President Trump said in his inaugural, a revolution of common sense. And there is no exception to the fact that everything that he has done up to this point is going to do all of those things. Heritage stands ready, not just to help with these executive actions from the outside, obviously, but very importantly, considering another aspect of our work, and as you've been covering in your show, making sure that our legislative leaders pass the necessary attendant legislation to amplify the successful executive orders that have happened up to this point.
He is talking about a shadow government. I don't know if you guys realize what he just said.
Yep. The Heritage Foundation will act on the outside to support executive orders. Right. What would a civilian company be able to and legally be allowed to do that would affect policy in the real world just because Donald Trump wrote it on a paper? Meaning I signed it.
But he quite literally described a shadow government. He wants people beyond the legislative. He wants legislators beyond the legislative branch, which is what Project 2025 does. That's what Tom Homan, Kevin Roberts.
You basically set up a council that governs what's acceptable within our government. Right. It's an invisible government that has no ties to elections.
Yeah, Stephen Miller. What's the other guy's name? I'm forgetting his name now.
Yeah,
He's tearing apart the government right now. Oh, of course, I'm going to forget his name.
Jeanette has a question, and of course, she was as kind as she always is. How do you see the future of the United States? Do you think a general strike will come and it will help? As much as I see people getting out into the streets right now, Jeanette, I don't know that a general strike will come. The United States does not like strikes. there is such an anti-union sentiment in this country that if
especially
people don't,
with this administration.
yes, especially if people don't get their Starbucks because of a general strike, they will blame whoever organized that strike and they will hate them for the rest of time. Like, Americans are that petty. So look, from my own self, would I strike in my job? I don't know, because the businesses in this country will fire you for almost anything and have no recourse against that. So can I afford to lose my job and lose my house that would put my wife and I out on the street? I don't know. I don't know that I have it in me to do that. And I think that speaks very poorly to the sense of patriotism that we should be instilling in Americans versus the patriotism that we do, which is just shoot. No, patriotism is doing what's right in the face of any consequence. And I don't know that Americans are ready for that.
That's part of fascism, though. They want to oppress us into a corner so we can't rise up.
Yep.
That's the whole point. They want to take everything that we have, so we are dependent on them completely. So they get to tell us why. It's basically what's happening now. They tell us what to do. Like, I was raging the other day on the show because, like, I'm so mad that we let a handful of billionaires tell us how to live. And they are the problem. Billionaires in this country, greedy ass fucking people, are the problem. And I will admit it. Yes, white people are the problem in America. You know, we're 16% of the population of the world, and for some reason, these morons, no teeth, can't read, fucking wearing a golden diaper with Trump's face on. It's like, oh, special, God, what? Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, these people are insane. These people are truly insane. But the white supremacy is now the norm in this country. And like I said, we're on our own, man. We're going to have to come together somehow, create our own law enforcement, create our own police force. I don't know what we have to do, but we got to do something. And the unfortunate part on our side is we don't have any funding, despite what the Trump administration is saying, because Stephen Miller seems to think we're funded by China, Qatar.
Soros-funded PSYOP.
Yeah, George Soros. He hasn't cut me a check in a while. I need to talk to him.
You should get on the phone with HR about that. The Antifa's HR department is notoriously good, so they should be able to help you get what you deserve.
Right. I wanted to drive down to the headquarters building until I realized it's imaginary.
Yeah,
so,
I was hoping.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was lucky.
I don't know. So if anybody knows how I can get a hold of Antifa or George Soros, I would really appreciate the help.
Yeah, thank you.
Because, this stuff is expensive. Everybody you see in the streets, whether you want to believe it or not, is there because they love this country and they want a better life for everyone. We have never once said we only want free health care for us. Like, we have literally said we want free health care for all in the United States, which includes you dumb fucking inbreds. You know what I'm saying?
But they don't want to pay a penny to help anyone else. But when they are destitute, they are the ones that go on GoFundMe, and people are giving them thousands of dollars to help them when they could have helped themselves in the first place by voting in their interests. But
that's a perfect segue into the next topic.
Oh, shit.
Farmers.
I didn't even mean
Farmers, once again, are getting screwed by Donald Trump. For those of you who don't know, Donald Trump almost destroyed the farm industry his last term and then had to bail the farmers out.
Socialism.
They almost lost everything.
Socialism,
and then they voted for him 2 more times.
Weird. And guess what's happening now?
Insane. Right. So now, as a result of this, Argentina really fucked us. We gave them $20 billion, and then they turned around and sold a shitload of soybeans to China behind our backs.
Yep.
So now
the great negotiator.
Right. The soybean farmers in America now are having to sell their crops at a loss because they have to discount the soybeans so much that they can't even make
it's either sell them for a loss or let them rot on their fields.
Which is also happening. I mean, we haven't even felt the effects of food shortages yet, which are coming.
Well, we're getting there.
They're coming.
We're going to get there. So let's go through a little bit of info before, Jeremy, you have a video or two about this?
Yeah, I got the one you sent me on Instagram.
Okay, so let me go through this first. This is just a post someone made. Dear MAGA soybean farmers, under Joe Biden last year, you sold $18 billion worth of soybeans to China. Under Trump this year, you have sold 0. Vote accordingly. So Literally, Donald
True.
Trump, in one of his executive orders, said, you are not allowed, this is what tariffs do, you're not going to be able to sell those goods because I'm putting tariffs on China. And China went, I will not buy soybeans from you because I don't want to pay your tariffs. And Donald Trump went, I won, I did it, they're tariffs things. And all the farmers are like, but now we can't sell our product because we don't sell soybeans to the U.S. market. We sell soybeans to China.
Right.
Okay. So here's an article from March. This is when the tariffs were brand new, before they even started seeing the full effects of it. Tariffs break trust. How Trump trade policy is putting pressure on U.S. farmers. Here's a breakdown of some of the topics that were in the article. American farmers could ultimately feel even more pain as a result of President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. The latest Purdue University Group Agricultural Economy Barometer reading showed that almost half of farmers think a trade war leading to a significant decrease in U.S. agricultural exports is likely or very likely. Remember, this was March, and now we're seeing that there are no exports for the U.S. agricultural market. The February sentiment data comes amid worries among experts that farmers won't be as profitable in 2025. Well, Caleb Ragland, a soybean farmer in Magnolia, Kentucky, voted for President Donald Trump in 2016, 20, and 24. Now, however, he has to navigate a tariff minefield at a time when the sector is already facing major headwinds. Ragland works with his wife and 3 sons and has deep roots in the community. His family has been farming on the land for more than 2 centuries.
Jesus.
But in recent years, he has seen a double-digit percentage decline in crop prices while production costs rise, with soybean futures having gone down more than 40% over the past 3 years, along with corn futures. Mm-hmm. This isn't the first time farmers have had to deal with new tariffs. Back in Trump's first term, the trade war with China in 2018, a time when Ragland said the agricultural economy was in a much better place than it is right now, cost the U.S. agriculture industry more than $27 billion, and soybeans made up virtually 71% of annualized losses. So in the first term, Trump destroyed the soybean market, and they voted for him 2 more fucking times.
Yeah, talk about voting against your best interest. Jesus Christ. But this is the find out stage. First, Trump deports all their workers, the farm workers. So that's why crops are rotting in the field. And like this guy, he's just a small family-owned farm. They rely on, the farm industry is insanely difficult. Like, these people work their asses off to provide us with food and generate income for the economy. They're a vital part of our system. And it just pains me. I mean, Donald Trump treats farmers like he treats veterans. Like shit.
Yeah.
But farmers, let's be honest, majority white in the Midwest, always vote Republican no matter what.
Because of them gays in the schools. No matter what. God can't have them gays.
Right? It's like the whole Super Bowl thing. They're freaking out about this shit.
Don't get me started.
Bro, I'm so pissed off about that. Like, it's so dumb. Like, why is the Attorney General talking about fucking Super Bowl halftime shows?
The fact that they don't know that Puerto Ricans are American citizens.
Yeah, we're going to have to deport him. We're all laughing like, okay. To where? Back to Puerto Rico? I'm sure Puerto Rico is lovely.
Also, when it was announced, and I'm sorry to go on a tirade here, and they were announced that, it was going to be a non-English speaker, but really they kept saying a non-American at the halftime show. Well, U2's done the halftime show. Paul McCartney's done the halftime show. Like, there are dozens but they were white.
Right, exactly.
This is a brown person that speaks not English. So, that's scary. I might not understand a word for the music at the fucking halftime show. Who cares? Go get another drink. Make a sandwich. If you're sitting there watching the halftime show, like, get friends.
Mute it. Just mute it.
Just mute it.
It's not that hard.
Not everything's for you.
Right. Go blank for 15 minutes or something. Like, do something. Just do something.
Anyway, that's all I got on that.
Anyway, all right, yeah, we'll talk about that some more because this is going to be an ongoing thing. As of right now, Bad Bunny has not been canceled. I thought he was at first, but no, he is not. He's still on, and he cracked jokes on SNL last night, which has MAGA pissed. He's like, you have 4 months to learn Spanish. I was like, yes. All right, let me play this video of the soybean farmer finding out in real time.
What we need more than anything is access to markets on a level playing field, and that includes China. Right now, with the trade war and then the tariffs and retaliatory tariffs that have resulted, we're at about a 20% price disadvantage when it comes to what the Chinese have to pay for our soybeans versus the Brazilian soybeans. And the buyers there want our soybeans, and we need to sell them our soybeans.
Did you see that graph?
Damn. Looks like our economy. Holy shit.
Look, that guy is the most American of Americans that ever Americaned.
Yeah,
and he is telling you right now that
corn-fed.
Donald Trump is fucking his industry.
Yeah.
That's it. What more do you need to hear?
Right. If you don't want to listen to us, listen to one of your own people, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it through your heads that Trump doesn't give a shit about you, and
Not
he
that
sucks at his
complicated.
job. He sucks at his job. He is single. The only people benefiting from the Trump administration is the Trump administration. Nobody else. Well, ICE, because they're making six figures, literally paying Proud Boys and like Patriots Front Oath Keepers to be ICE agents now. So now they're getting paid to be racist pieces of shit and domestic terrorists. So
Fun.
all right, enough about the farmers. They're going to have to get their shit together one way or another. Let's go on to Howard Nutlick. I can't say it right anymore. Nutlick is too perfect. Only just two letters. I mean, really. Howard Nutlick made a very big mistake the other day that has Donald Trump extremely pissed off. Because if you remember, Kash Patel testified in front of Congress that Jeffrey Epstein only trafficked girls, to himself. He never trafficked girls. Well, I keep saying women. Girls, kids, to other people. Well, Howard here decides to go into a story about how he was Jeffrey Epstein's next door neighbor. They lived right next to one another, man.
Why would you be like, hey, I got a story for you?
Bro, they ran in the same financial circles. I forget the company that Howard Lutnick, I said it right that time, worked for. But all the people that Jeffrey Epstein, because remember, Jeffrey Epstein was a financier. So, yeah, they ran in the same circles. So saying that, oh, I only went over there once and saw massage tables, and I was like, this guy's gross. But he lets the cat out of the bag. He says that Epstein was the world's greatest blackmailer. Now, if you're only trafficking girls to yourself, how are you blackmailing other people? I don't know. But he really let the cat out of the bag on this one. I
There
don't
are
know what he was
definitely
thinking.
Trump videos. There's definitely Trump videos.
Oh, God, yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein was your neighbour. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about him. East 71st Street. He was your neighbour for 10 years. How well did you know him?
All right. So we are.
If Howard was smart, he would have been like, I don't know, man. I saw him in the hallway.
Yeah,
and then
we had
left
the
it
same
at that,
doorman.
bro.
That was
right,
it.
But
yeah.
no, he gets into a very detailed story that includes massage tables and being offered a special
Yeah, like what
massage.
he's doing here, everyone, if you don't know, what he's doing is giving you a little bit of the truth to try and make it sound like I knew something was wrong, so I stopped. No, he never stopped. There's videos of this guy too. I mean, allegedly, but whatever.
Most likely, there's videos of this guy too. And Pamela, I promise I will call him Nutlick from now on. She put in all caps. It is Nutlick, yes, because that's what he does. He's a professional nutlicker.
In number 11, and he lives in number 9.
Right.
So we renovate, we buy our house, and our house is pigeons and mice.
Right.
Okay, it was derelict.
Right.
So we rebuild our house. We move in 2005. Okay. Jeffrey Epstein is arrested in like 2008, I think, or something like that.
Right.
So knock on the door. His assistant on like a Saturday says, Mr. Epstein, your neighbor would like to invite you over for coffee. So my wife and I go next door. We walk the 7 steps,
Yes.
right, to the next house for coffee. We share a wall.
Right.
Right. So it's in New York
Yeah, I
City.
bet they
So
do.
he invites us in. We have coffee.
Share glory.
And he says, do you want a tour? I said, great. He's
Interesting.
got a really big house.
Every room you went into?
He's got, well, I'll tell you. So his house is like super big. Right. And so he gives me a tour in the living room, big living room. And then across from it is double doors. I assume it's the dining room.
Yeah.
And he opens the doors and there's a massage table in the middle of the room.
Ooh.
And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful.
This is very specific.
It's a little.
I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, and the right kind of massage.
Why would
If you watch the rest of that video, he goes into he throws Donald Trump under the bus, and it means Kash Patel committed perjury in front of Congress. He was under oath.
Oh, yeah, true. Well,
Yeah. Well, he calls Jeffrey Epstein the world's greatest blackmailer. That's what he did, which completely blows the entire narrative out of the water. That he only trafficked girls to himself, which I can't believe they actually said that with a straight face. Well, as straight of a face as Kash Patel can make, because he's always like, so yeah.
low hanging fruit is sometimes the best tasting.
Yeah, really. So, yeah, but this guy's been, actually, I won't play the other videos because we're already at 50 minutes. Jesus Christ. But yeah, if you guys want to watch, there's some videos of Howard, not on social media, that are absolutely fantastic.
Possum
The
is
guy,
100% right. They're in the we did it, but it's actually okay phase.
right. He has no idea what he's doing. Nobody in the Trump administration is qualified for their positions.
No.
The government of merit. I remember Donald Trump saying he signed an executive order saying we're going to be a merit-based system. And then he gave the Department of Education to the WWE owner. Tell me in what reality is she qualified to work with children, especially after all the accusations? Yeah, I said on the other day, you're safer putting your kids at a drag show than you are at a evangelical church.
Let me tell you something.
Or a Republican event.
Those drag queens would fight to the death to protect those kids from anything.
They would. They absolutely. I agree. I absolutely agree. So, all right. Moving on to the last thing that we have here, and that is Mike Johnson doesn't realize his microphone is still on him. And we caught a very magical moment when a Democratic official goes up to him and tells him that Donald Trump's insane. This was right. She says he's not well. He's crazy. This was right after the ridiculous pep rally that he gave to the troops, which I'm hoping pushed the generals more onto the side of common sense.
We'll see.
They had to see he was a madman. They had to see it. These people have spent their whole lives from the time they got out of college and became officers. That's all they've done.
Yep.
Literally. They live and die by the oath that they take. But again, we're in an environment where we see that oaths don't matter. Because some people are deciding to disregard their oath to protect us.
Yep.
And instead pledge loyalty to Donald Trump. And they don't give a shit about us. So I know a lot of the generals, probably at least half of them, voted for Trump 3 times, which concerns me. But I'm hoping they see how fucking crazy he is now, because he's never been this crazy. Because he literally told the generals that Americans are the biggest threat to us.
Yep.
To generals. And then you had Pete Hegseth. I like calling him Zoolander. Every time I see Pete Hegseth, I think male model, and then I think of Zoolander. Because that's when he comes out all spiffied up out of his makeup room. This guy got kicked out of the military. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Pete Hegseth was he was supposed to be protecting the inauguration of Joe Biden. And they took him off of that detail because they felt he was an inside threat because of his extremist tattoos and his extremist views. The leader of the Department of War was kicked out of the military. The official report says it was a voluntary separation, which is just code for military speak for you got kicked the fuck out.
Yep.
So that's what's happening right now. So let's play the hot mic moment. I'm glad one Democratic official said something. I'm glad we caught it on a mic, but Mike Johnson doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't care.
Dude, he is such a cuck.
He just canceled all the votes for next week, which means their narrative of it being the Democrats wanting the shutdown, if that's true, why did he shut down all the votes for all of next week? Why isn't he saying, well, we might get a chance to do some governing on Monday?
Yeah, right? No. They're taking a vacation. Paid vacation, by the way. With full
free healthcare.
medical benefits. Yep.
We both went to the same thing.
Free for me, but not for thee. That should be their whole. That should be
Like
their
the meat
slogan.
cake.
Yeah, exactly. So here's this little weasel on. I can't believe
He is
he's
a
the
weasel.
leader of the House.
He is a weasel.
He is, man. God, we didn't even know who he was before he became speaker. Nobody ever heard of him. Everybody's like, "Who the fuck is Mike Johnson?"
I wonder if his Grindr account name is just Butt Weasel.
Bro,
And
did
that's
you
not
hear
an
about?
anti-gay joke. I
Did
just
you
mean
hear
because
about-
Mike Johnson's not clever enough to come up with anything.
There's a Republican who got caught in a Nazi porn forum.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that? That shit is hilarious. And he's like, it's not me. But they're like, but you used the same username on the Nazi porn forum that you did for all of your social media accounts. Like, how dumb can you be?
Bob Dickhead for governor.
I didn't know Nazi porn was a thing. Like, every time you think you got everything covered, Nazi porn comes along and you're like, what the fuck?
One of my best friends has said there is porn for everyone. There is nothing that there is not a porn of.
You're right. That's true. All right, so let's play this. Keep procrastinating. Play the video, damn it. All right, here we go.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What
are you doing? A lot of folks
doing?
on your side are too. I don't control.
Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that
I didn't see it.
is so dangerous.
I
You know,
didn't
Vice
see
President
it.
on Foreign Affairs and Appropriations. It's the collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left
You
the
have a
Secret
president who is. You have a president who is unwell.
How about what you tweet last night with Hakeem and Schumer?
I think
Did you
it
call
wasn't my
that out to
style.
the president? Not your style. It's disgraceful. It's bigoted. It's racist. You should call it out. Is it racist? You put a sombrero on a black man who's the leader of the House? You don't see that as racist? We need you desperately to leave.
I'm working.
Good on her for calling him
Working
out.
on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah, but that's what Trump has been doing. He's been posting memes of Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero and a mustache, insinuating that he's a Mexican. That's the leader of our country. Fuck, we are so cooked. Anyway, yeah, but Mike Johnson doesn't care. She could scream at him all she wants. He does not
Dr.
care.
Who fan hit it on the head. I'm third in line, but I didn't see it.
I know, right? Yeah, I was
okay.
in the room,
That's
but
brilliant.
I didn't see it.
That's brilliant.
That's insane. You know what's even crazier? He's second in line to the president.
No, third in line. That's the point.
Yeah.
It's-
yeah. I'm sorry, third in line. I get it.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a physical line.
I got you. Yeah, I know what you mean.
He's like, I was sitting in the room. I didn't see it. What are you talking about?
I was on my phone.
Yeah, so if something happens to Trump and Vance, like if, God forbid, they were taken out, God forbid. Yeah, I'll shut up. He would be president. The guy with the secret Grindr profile.
That is true. You can say that. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, we'll say for legal purposes. But this is getting dangerous because we have a demented orange madman with an IQ below Forrest Gump thinking he knows better than everybody else. And he is the rhetoric out of him. This is what's going to get people killed. I said it yesterday. Fox News will get people killed. Jesse Waters, you dumb fuck, you are going to get people killed. Bringing fake Antifa people onto the show. Did you see that, Mike?
Yep.
Jesse Waters brought a masked Antifa member, former Antifa member, onto the show.
The thing about that is, let's speak in reality for a moment. There is no organization called Antifa. So if that person was someone who used to consider themselves to be anti-fascist and now isn't, then sure, they were themselves formerly Antifa. But to say that they were formerly an Antifa is implying that there is an organization, which we know there isn't. So Jesse Waters literally brought in one of those crisis actors that they keep talking about and pretended to be something that doesn't exist to make content for his little show.
Right. And then remember, Jesse Waters also suggested bombing the UN building, and then that other dipshit suggested that we euthanize homeless people.
Yes.
And then homeless people were killed immediately after that. So people have died as a result of Fox News' propaganda. They have cost people their lives. And they're pushing a very, very dangerous narrative that we, the anti-fascists, who are the good guys, morons, are being supplied with not only money, but weapons. Stephen Miller said that in the Oval Office that we are being supplied by some shadow organization with weapons. And the thing is, we see that's crazy. Like you and me and our supporters and people that aren't involved in politics, they're like, that's dumb. That's dumb. But we're dealing with dumb people who believe it.
It's true.
People that watch Fox News believe everything Fox News says, no matter how fucking ridiculous it is. They don't fact check. They get a lot of their information from Facebook, which is one of the worst places to get information from. And so we have to understand that while we think it's insane and we know there's no organized group called Antifa, they have targeted their people and are radicalizing them into violence. That is what they are trying to do. They are trying to cause bloodshed. The Trump administration
Fascism
is intentionally
lives off
trying to cause bloodshed.
The more bloodshed you have in the streets, no matter who causes it and no matter who the target it is, it gives the fascists the excuse they need to crack down. So they don't care what happens to the people. We already know that. And they don't care what happens in the streets. They don't care who gets shot, who gets run over. They don't care. What they want is the chaos that gives them the opportunity to say, we are going to save you with guns and the military. And boom, martial law is here. If you don't think that's not the plan, you're not paying attention.
Right. He's defying court orders. They're saying, no, you're not going to send people into my city. And he's like, send people into the city.
Yep.
I mean, when you have masked, grown-ass white men kicking down doors and dragging children out of the house with no warrant and no probable cause whatsoever. They racially profiled an entire building and went door to door, ripping people out of their beds in the middle of the fucking night.
Yep.
And then zip-tied a 1-year-old baby who was in his t-shirt, diapers, and Crocs. That kid is going to be fucking traumatized for the rest of his life. And I hope the guy that zip-tied that baby fucking, I don't know,
stubs his toe,
just drop dead. I always say, stick your head up your ass, and I hope your
take a deep
chokes
breath.
you out. Yeah, take a deep breath, lick your colon. Wait, yeah, no, that's the right body part. Anyway, let me go to the rhetoric that we're talking about, and then I want to play the propaganda video again that they're pushing, because this is dangerous, because the propaganda video they're pushing is using video footage from 2020. And they're passing it off saying that they're telling their supporters, look at what's happening right now. This is why we have to send in the troops, because it's a war zone. And they're not being honest about it. This is why people are going to get killed because of this administration. Like this is beyond losing our benefits. We're actually talking about losing our lives at this point because of fascists like Donald Trump. But here's him making insane threats.
Portland is burning to the ground. You have agitators, insurrectionists. All you have to do is look at the television, turn on your television, read your newspapers. It's burning to the ground. The governor, the mayor, the politicians are petrified for their lives.
Mr. President,
and you have a judge like that, that judge ought to be ashamed of him.
Governor, you say
it was his judge, by the way.
Yeah, he appointed her. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what he's saying right now, that Portland is basically a war zone. Chicago is a war zone.
Also,
he's telling you right now.
He's telling you to watch the news and read the newspapers. But yesterday he was screaming, "Don't watch the news. Don't listen to the newspapers."
Dude, here's the problem.
Which one is it, bud?
Here's the problem with I'm not gonna call him. What do I almost call him?
You almost did. Ew,
Jesus Christ! What is wrong with me today? I think this whole cop thing with this morning has got my head fucked up. The whole problem with this dipshit. I lost my train of thought. That happens all the time. Oh, no, what I was going to say, the whole problem with this dipshit is he gets his information, his inside information from Fox News.
Yeah.
It's been reported several times that Donald Trump does not read intelligence briefings unless they do a fucking puppet show for him. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't listen to his intelligence community, which he probably shouldn't, because they're a bunch of unqualified idiots. He gets his information from a propaganda network. Okay, so what do? They put together a propaganda video to put on social media. This was on Trump's, the White House's Facebook page.
Disgusting.
Right.
Like,
this is not happening right now. Right. Again, keep that in mind. Some of the footage is, but they intentionally spliced in footage from 4 or 5 years ago.
And also, the footage from now is after they went in and are agitating and causing these confrontations.
Exactly. ICE are the ones instigating the situation. Like I said, they just murdered somebody yesterday and then drove away from the crime scene while throwing tear gas at motherfuckers that were just standing there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I also found out that a lot of these ICE vehicles have been using dealer plates, which means they're basically like a demo vehicle, like car dealerships who are very most dealership owners are very white and very Republican. I know because I've worked in the car business for almost 2 decades. And they're assholes. So if you see a ICE vehicle with a dealer plate, you need to take a picture of that dealer plate. We can find out what dealership that came from, and we can address that dealership. That's not doxing. It's not harassment. But we would like to know, as the public, why you are loaning vehicles. They're not buying them. They're just, if they're on a dealer plate, that means they're like a company demo. I'm pretty sure you can't, like, if you, most managers or owners of car dealerships don't own a car. They own a bunch of cars, but they usually drive a dealership vehicle, put a few thousand miles on it, and then sell it at a slightly bigger discount than a brand new one.
Yep.
Technically, still a brand new car because it's never been titled before. But if they're doing this and doing that for ICE, they're not supposed to do that. And it could be illegal for the purposes that you're using it for. So, but let me play this video because this is fucking dangerous. Again, when blood gets spilled, I'm not going to say if, because blood has been spilled already. As a result, I mean, we got kids getting hung on trees with broken arms and legs. The cops are saying it's suicide. You know what I mean? We got people protesting on campuses are being targeted as being anti-Semitic. It gets worse and worse. Like, people are dying as a result of the Trump administration, whether it's in their concentration camps or as a result of right-wing violence or school shootings.
From Alligator Alcatraz. How do you go missing in the middle of a swamp, especially when the stated reason for the swamp was so that people could go missing?
You know the Trump administration reimbursed them for that? I found that out today. They spent $450 million putting up tents and shit in Alligator Alcatraz, and then they were told they couldn't use it anymore. And the government gave them $600+ million back. They used FEMA money to build Alligator Alcatraz. They used emergency funds to build a concentration camp. And when the concentration camp failed, within a matter of, 6 months, the government just bailed out Florida. That should infuriate you. Our tax money not only went to building a concentration camp, then it got reimbursed for their troubles. It's fucking society blows, man.
Yep.
If you're from outside the country, do not come here.
Don't. Well, they're not. They're not. So.
No, I'm just saying, if you even think maybe I'll go to the United States,
there's nothing here.
No, we are literally on a humanitarian watch list at the moment.
Yep.
Stay the fuck away from this place. It is dangerous right now, and it is violent.
All right, play that video.
Yes, please.
Anti-ICE protesters in Portland, Oregon, rolling out a guillotine, clashing with police, and turning the streets into a battlefield outside a migrant detention facility there. It's the latest flashpoint in protests that has stretched nearly 3 months now.
President Trump is sending troops to Portland, Oregon to clamp down on protests directed at
that right there exactly is from 2020.
ICE facility in Portland, just outside the city, has been laid siege to night after night after night.
We're not going to put up with it. This administration is not playing games.
Take a look at Portland sometime. These are wild, these are crazy people. These are paid terrorists, okay?
But what we're seeing, whether it be Portland or Chicago, Los Angeles or otherwise, is increasingly organized and professionalized. People are being bussed in, and President Trump has been very clear we need to follow the money, see who is funding this violence and this chaos in our streets.
Which isn't happening.
All right, so I just want to add, we live in a society now where you don't need proof. They just assume guilt now. There is no due process for any of us. There is none. maybe a little bit of a shred of some, but for most people, it's not. But that specifically, I wanted to point out the guy with the gun. That is from 2020. Obviously, you shouldn't point a gun at anybody unless you plan on using it. So that was definitely not right. But Pam Bondi is out there saying one of the guys, like right now, one of the guys has a gun, which is not true. It is not true. Please share this with your friends and family to let them know that they are being lied to. We've got to at least get through to some people, especially like we always say on the show, especially the people that didn't vote. They are the most important because they have no idea what's coming. They're starting to see it. But they really don't know what's happening. You know what I mean?
And also, you can see it, but now the time to do it the easy way is past. Okay,
right.
The election was the way to do it the easy way. Now we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what it's going to take to fix this. And even if every one of these bad actors was gone tomorrow, we don't know how long it would take to fix all this because we don't know who else was complicit. We don't know who's embedded in this government that is loyal to Donald Trump, loyal to the Heritage Foundation. They've put in place people that are trying to destroy our very fabric. And we don't know what it's going to take to fix it, but it was the easy way's over. It's just the hard way now.
Right. So again, like I always say, we are all going to suffer. We are all going to suffer. That's the point. Suffering is the point. They want us to suffer. So are we going to suffer on their terms? A handful of people are controlling everything. Are we going to suffer on their terms, or are we going to take matters into our own hands and rise up together? We have to. There's no more should we, maybe this, that. Like, we should be out on the street. It pisses me off that we're not in the streets every day. But most people can't. Like you said, most people cannot do that because they need their jobs. Most people live paycheck to paycheck in this country. So, but when food is too expensive, when your insurance premiums quadruple, that's what we're talking about, like 3 or 4 times higher. I'm pretty sure the money you make is not going to be enough to cover it. So you're going to lose shit anyway. You're going to lose your car. You're going to lose your health insurance. You might not be able to get your medication anymore. That is reality. There's going to be food shortages. There's already job shortages. We're losing jobs under Donald Trump. The economy's going to tank, and we're going to lose it all unless we rise up together and take matters into our own hands, because the cops aren't going to help us. The government's not going to help us. At this point, I don't even know if the judicial system's going to help us.
We'll find out.
We are on our own. We are on our own. Hopefully when this is all over, we can just deport MAGA all to fucking Epstein's Island. I would personally do a GoFundMe to build a wall around it too. We can even put alligators in there just to please Donald Trump. We'll electrify it and everything. But I hear Epstein's Island's still available, so you know. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for today. Mike, anything else you wanted to add, or we get everything out?
I got nothing. Let's just keep moving forward, everyone. Take time for yourself, please, because Jeremy and I both can tell you, just from what we're doing, it takes a lot to not go nuts, but everyone is dealing with shit right now. And the best way to survive this is to stay in contact with the people that you can trust, the people that heal you.
We have to build a community.
We got to build this community, because right now we don't know who we can trust. Obviously, the institutions that we assumed were always going to be there to protect us, we don't know that they exist anymore. So it's going to be more important than ever to know who you can trust, to know who is a safe place and who is a like-minded American.
Yeah. And hold on to those people. They're special.
That's it.
Hopefully we can rebuild something amazing after this is all over for us, but we have to get through it first. And
we got to get through it.
So love you all. Thank you so much for watching another episode. We'll be back on tomorrow at 9:00. Me and James doing another episode of the Derp State. We got some funny shit lined up for you. Try and keep it a little bit lighter, because these last few episodes I've been raging, man, dude. I did an hour and 40 minutes one day and an hour and 30 minutes yesterday. Just fucking
There's a lot to rage about.
So anyway, we will be in New York City in less than 2 weeks now. On the 17th, I'll be heading up to New York City to hang out with Mike. We're going to the No Kings 2.0 protest.
We got to figure
in
out
New
where
York
to
City.
even go. There's like a whole bunch listed in the city alone.
There's a major one that the one I sent you, I think is the main one. So I figure we'll just go there. We'll play by ear. Fuck it. If you guys want to help us out, because it is expensive to do these trips, food, travel, tolls, gas, all that fun shit. If you want to help out, which you guys have done an amazing job this year by donating to our cause. As you know, we don't do advertising revenue on YouTube, so we don't have to censor ourselves. You know what I mean? So we don't make any money doing these shows. We don't. So all the trips we've taken this year, this will be my 16th this year personally, is all thanks to you guys. You truly have made me feel like you believe in us. So if you guys are willing to help, just know I appreciate you and I love you to death. The link tree for that information is in the description of this video, or it's on our channel page. And we have a small GoFundMe because there's no hotel expenses and it's only for a day, so we're not asking for a lot. So I hate to ask for donations. Hopefully after this month I won't have to do that anymore. Thank God my Facebook page is actually starting to generate a little bit of money. So hopefully we'll be a little bit more self-sufficient from now on and maybe get a sponsor or two that's crazy enough to take us on. Just know if we ever get a sponsor, though, it will be a requirement for them to agree that we will not censor ourselves.
Correct. Oh, yeah. No, we're never going to ever compromise.
Never compromise what we say for money. Fuck that, dude. Money is the root of all evil. I've been watching people go at each other's throats for money.
Dude, Pamela just said Fred Wellman is running for Congress.
Yeah, I knew that.
Holy shit.
I accidentally leaked it on one of our shows, and then he texted me. He was like, "Hey, don't tell anybody." I was like, "Well, for fuck's sake, why didn't you tell me that like when you told me you were running?" But yeah, Fred's running for Congress, man.
That said, time to get him back on.
Absolutely, that'd be a great idea. He's awesome, dude. He's one of my favorite people. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you tomorrow 9 o'clock.
Later.